Welcome to this design review today on Shopify, one of the premier developer and design company in the world. You go to their landing page, it's beautiful. I mean, they have features that I've never seen on any other landing pages. We'll cover all those incredible features today, why their landing page is one of the best I've ever seen, how they engage with their visitors to feel a part of Shopify rather than to just sell them a product, how they tell stories, how they inspire their users, all these little design quirks that are beautiful that their visitors may never even see, but are just awesome. We'll cover those. We'll also talk about some areas for improvement, especially once you get into the product. The landing page is incredible, but the actual onboarding for the user and the interface they interact with kind of is a bit of a downer after how great the landing page is, and we'll talk about why and how they can improve that a little bit, at least in my opinion. So this is a different one. Obviously, Shopify is a web app. In the past, we did Calm and Strava, the two mobile apps. So this is a little different video in the past. If you're interested in mobile apps, I suggest you check out those two videos. But we're going to get into Shopify here today, and I think it's going to be really interesting with a lot of inspiration and lessons. So if at any point during the video you're enjoying it, please give it a like. It helps me out a lot, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so let's get into Shopify. Oops. So first of all, I love websites that have well, I was going to say demo video, which this isn't actually a demo video. This is more of an inspiring video showing all kind of different kind of creators, from small to large, Wall Street to the kitchen, factory to, a basement, a mom, a random person on their own with friends. It shows everyone, which is really great. It's definitely inspiring. You see the starts of, in the quiet kitchen, all the way to the factory, all the way to the, ringing the bell at the NASDAQ. So I love this video, how much they show. A few things pop out to me, but we'll come back to those buttons in a second. We'll go through the rest of the site. I will also say the copy, be the next big thing, be the next one to watch. You don't really see the words when you're watching the video, but, category creator, that's all really nice. So let's scroll down first, and then we'll come back to some of the call to actions. Oh, this is nice. So, I know I talked about this briefly, but Shopify is a big design and builder culture, which is why I wanted to cover them. And, just these little things like sell online and in person, sell locally and globally. Like when you hover over it, the colors change. Sell on desktop and mobile. I just like that. The pictures are great. I like that they have their own little designs here. Like there's this vertical, mobile screen looking picture, regular desktop looking picture. It just makes it dynamic, dark background with the bright pictures, the bright websites of beautiful looking sites showing you what you can build, how they can be simple and modern, like this Brooklinen, but also really unique and different, like this rowing blazers. And these are just, beautiful pictures. So some stories here, always good to have stories, as early as possible for your company. Having case studies is I don't know the data on this, but I'm sure, at least for me, and I'm sure a lot of people who consider using a product, they go to case studies always and learn, why certain people went to you, why individual creators went to you, why, large enterprises like Mattel with their own setup distribution channels decided to start using Shopify, how someone grew from one person to a $500 million plus business with Gymshark. Always have case studies, always have them on your homepage. Make it easy for people to find. A little demo here. All right, it's always good to have product demos as well. I like this, showing how quick and easy it is to spin up a website, how to edit the website. They always look beautiful. There's a generic look to a Shopify website because they're everywhere now, but they always look really nice, and you can still customize them, like these large header pictures to make them look different, make them look unique, like we set up here. I don't know where the pictures went, but here Super Smalls looks way different. Aura Bora looks way different than, this simple demo here. So you can still certainly be unique with Shopify's website. Showing a little bit more, the checkout system in person. I love, general theme throughout the site, how interactive it is, how many like videos there are, pictures, stories, demos. There's just a lot of, even like these simple animations here showing how you can publish across different channels to market and showing the checkout workflow. Like you can even click the pay now button and it does, that's really cool. It's like you're actually using it, add to cart. That's fun. Find your customers, again, just like really cool demos, of course, showing, you know, how much you can grow. Everyone purchasing your sweaters, looking at the money go up, looking at sales contribute to marketing going up. They're definitely working that, you know, inspiration angle, which is great, which they should. That's why they started the company, to empower entrepreneurship. And so they're showing, you know, how great that can be if you use Shopify, if you have those tools. So, you know, we talk about, you know, the general vibe that companies go for, like what Calm was trying to go for, which they could have done a little better, what Strava was going for, which I think they did really well, like speaking to runners and giving them what they want. It's the same thing Shopify is doing here. It's talking to their entrepreneurs. It's showing them how easy it is, how many features there are, how you don't need to go anywhere else. You start here with a free trial with $1 for a month, and then you have everything at your disposal. You can reach these incredible heights. You can be the next one to watch. You can build the next big thing. You can have, you know, all these sales going up. You know, they have all the tools for it. There's nowhere else you need to go. I think it would be really hard for someone to, I also love this picture, by the way, and like just how you can hover over it and, you know, it highlights a little bit. That is so cool. I love how, like, I would love to sit in the Shopify like design or product meeting. Like, who came up with this? And like, you know, like why is this here? Like, it's just, there's so many little details that I'm sure we'll see throughout that are just like, you know, no one's probably looking at this like I am and like using this hover and like, you know, thinking it's cool. This has nothing to do with converting customers really, but it's just really cool. And it just like, it just, I guess, continues that vibe that like Shopify is just a very design centric company, and you have those tools at your disposal, like this earth thing you can click and spin. It's just really cool and it looks incredible, and I would love to know how they built that. Shopify Capital here. This is a little hidden. I mean, there's so many features that can't show everything, and like, you know, if you go to the solutions tab, they have so much that you can go over, which is tough. I'll get to that in a second, but Shopify Capital, you can have loans. Just again, another nice pictures, payments, customize, take your shot, call to action at the bottom. Yeah, like I said, they're just leaning all in on that general theme of entrepreneurship. It's all centered around one, inspiration, which is what this video is showing. Like, that's the first thing they want you to see is like, you know, you want to take the leap. That's why you're here. You're at least thinking about it. Go ahead and take the leap. You get a free trial. You get 3 days for free to see if you want to do this or not. Then you only have to pay $1 for 1 month to really see if you want to do it or not. Extremely generous, you know, free trial essentially. And I think that the $1 for 1 month is really interesting. And I don't think you can really do it on a mobile app, because mobile apps have this impression that everything has to be free. Even like 99 cents is like a huge hurdle, because that's just like the environment that has been built with mobile apps, unfortunately. Web apps, you know, it's pretty standard to pay, you know, $20 a month for something. I mean, you know, since ChatGPT's come out, everything's $20 a month, I feel like. So there's like that higher bar. And most websites will still do like free trials, like 7-day free trials. I think this 1 month for $1 is really interesting rather than 1 month for free. And I'm sure they, you know, thought about this a lot and studied this a lot. But first, of course, the 3 days free, like get someone in, get them playing with everything, get them to buy in a little bit. But then I think that 1 month for $1 is really interesting because, and I don't even think it's like, so Shopify can make $1 instead of not getting anything from someone. I don't think that makes a look of a difference in a multi-billion-dollar company. I think they do the 1 month for $1 because it gives you like at least some type of skin in the game. Like this, you've certainly put in the work, but you've put in a little bit of money already, even if it's just $1. It's just like mentally, like you've invested a little bit more than just your time into this. And so it might be worth really giving it a shot. And you might be a little more inclined to go through with it if you've already kind of put a little more skin in the game again, instead of just time. And I don't think that's friction. I don't think someone having to pay $1 instead of free is any friction. It sets them up to convert easily to a premium subscription because credit card's on file, of course. But I think that's just like, it just adds a little more conversion, ironically, by giving that initial extra dose of friction and a little extra dose of buy-in beyond just time. So I'd love to learn more about that decision to charge $1 for 1 month. So what sticks out? Of course, these 2 free trials here, which I think are great. This is like a little small, but it's obviously, you can see it. Like you're looking at the video, you see the big white button. It's not that big, but you see the white button really sticking out. Get 3 days free, then 1 month free. Like you can see it all. I don't think, again, like they're trying to push you into something. I think they're trying to inspire you to want to do it. So I don't think, just from a design perspective, sometimes websites will have a big call to action in the center right here of the screen, and then like just some copy, like, some type of little catchphrase to get you to sign up. And then they're constantly pointing, sign up, sign up, sign up. Shopify, pick a plan that fits, but not really having it else throughout the page. And I think it's, again, because they're just trying to get you to want to take the leap. Like, if you want to take the leap or not. You know where to click the start the free trial button. You don't need to constantly be pushed about it. They want you to want to do it. Like, clearly you're curious. You came to Shopify. Look at what it could be. You know where the start free trial is. Go start it. So before I click on that, because that'll really get into the product, this is like a little crazy, of course. I mean, Shopify is a massive business. They have a ton of features. I wonder if they can consolidate this a little bit, or even, I wonder just generally if companies can rethink, now that we have these really smart AI agents, if companies can like rethink this whole drop-down menu aspect. And this is something I'm going to look into more, but this just obviously creates a lot of friction. Like I click solutions and I see 30 different links I could click. I click resources and I see 20 different links I could click. So I can't imagine anyone's really clicking on those much. There are obviously companies that have like chatbots that'll pop up in the bottom right and say like, what brings you here? What do you want? And that's typically kind of annoying for a user. I wonder if you can somehow marry the two, like have these tabs and these links, but then maybe, like they have this Shopify Developers Plus Enterprise all products here. I wonder if you can just put like a ChatGPT like text box right here at the bottom that just says like, what questions do you have? Because people are comfortable with that interface rather than that chatbot in the corner that they always see, like that kind of annoyingly pops up notification in chat that like you don't want. But if you're seeking solutions and you're seeking more information about their products, I think just having that chatbot feature, that ChatGPT interface that people are used to now, would be really interesting. That's kind of like a macro website suggestion more so than Shopify. It just kind of popped in my head in this moment. But I think that would be really something to look at, something to test with users. So you have it right here. Users can type, ask the question, kind of expands a little bit, like as the screen pops up over all this other content, and then Shopify searches through all its docs, all its information, gives you a little summary, links each important point with maybe the customize your store page or the explore free business tools page, because you had a question involving that, but you didn't want to feel like clicking through everything. Like you wanted a quick solution. Obviously that costs money to run that chat tool for Shopify, but I think that would be interesting to think about. I don't know, random aside, but like I said, this is overwhelming. And so I always think about, and this is a thing I hear Toby Lutke, Shopify's CEO, talk about a lot, is just like deleting things. And the CTO or I don't know if he's the CTO, but the VP of engineering also at Shopify talks about, it's not about the amount of code they write. Like they're not proud of the fact that they have millions of lines of code. Like they're proud of the fact that they can delete 100,000 lines of code and have the product working better. So they have this culture of elimination, of simplification. So that's in my head when I'm reviewing the website because you see that, brand or DNA of the company in the site in everything they do. But this page just feels like not simple. It feels a little overwhelming. And I wonder if you can simplify it with that chat interface. A little too long of a tangent, but something to think about if you're building a web app. Maybe it's worth integrating that somehow if you do have a lot of features like Shopify and you're stressed about how do you explain all that value proposition. Point is, a lot of tabs here. I understand Shopify has a lot to do, but these are a lot of tabs. Obviously, this winter 25 edition button is sticking out to me a lot with that blue background. Like, it's you're most focused on the start free trial button, but you're really focused on this. So I'm going to click this actually and see what it is. Okay, this is funny. This is definitely, Shopify is a developer culture. So this is definitely like an ode to, 90s websites. Origin of the company, Toby Lukey, the CEO, started a snowboarding website in like 2004 or something. Funny enough, the website was so good that it ended up becoming Shopify because he built these really great tools for e-commerce that ended up being a lot more successful than just a random snowboarding e-commerce business. So I think this is kind of a nod to that. It's not really friendly for the general potential viewer of this page. I'm showing all the updates, 150 updates. Nothing new, everything improved. The boring edition. There's a video here. It's just a video talking about stuff they've improved. So that's nice. No one's gonna look through all this, or maybe people will, but it's just like I'm curious why they decided to do it this way. Like it seems like they just did it for fun, but if it's important, shouldn't it be in a way customers can see? It's also 150 updates, so like how do they show 150 updates efficiently? It's just an interesting page that I would love to ask the design team why they went ahead with this, and I probably will. They also have the not boring edition. This is really cool. Okay, I think you could hear that. I don't know though. Um, but this is really funny. Like these are clearly like AI tools just like creating videos off of wacky prompts that are explaining new features in a very bizarre and entertaining way. Like the alien was talking about tap to pay being better. Just talking about Shopify's email. So did they really make 150 of these? You can click the remote and change the channel. 150. Oh, it just goes to five. Okay. Nice. This is so cool. This is awesome. We can play with this all day. I don't know why they did this. I think there's like this is gonna be one of the most unique websites I ever look at. It's again, I'm having the same thoughts as like, why did they go with this? Like, if they want to explain new features to customers, why are they doing it in this like it's cool. Like I like it because like I'm into tech and design and like this is cool. This is interesting. It's different. It's fun. But the general person is going to look at this and be like, I'm not reading any of this. I'm not clicking these links. This is a mess. And then like the video is hilarious, but it's just like not really an effective way of talking about those new features. It's entertaining and it's funny, but like it's just weird. So like I'm really curious why they did that. I think it's awesome. I can't imagine too many people are going through this. So that page was crazy. I don't know. That was a lot, but I loved it. Again, I would love to ask why they made those decisions. I mean, I could go back and give kudos. This animation, when you click not boring, TV slapping down and then, you know, playing this is awesome video. I would love to know how they did that. Um, the remote feature here, that's really cool. Like just the developer aspect of this, I love. Like changing the channel, turning it down. I love that. Just an old TV, turn it off. That is so cool. That's just awesome. Okay, so we'll go back to that. That page was wacky, but I love that page. So let's get into it. So went over the site. Obviously beautifully designed, going for that theme of inspiration, of taking the leap. On the back end of that, we have all the tools at your disposal. You won't need anything else. Everything's here. We have more than you need to set you up for success. Why we build Shopify? This is just the this is just the story of Shopify, uh, which is a nice video. Like I like that Shopify is going for this like general, like yes, they're giving you the tools, but they do like want you to feel a part of Shopify. Like it is, you're building your own site and your own store and your own business, but you're in the Shopify network, and I think they want you to like appreciate, how much they care about their users. They ship 150 new features in, I don't know, 6 months, I guess, with it being Winter 25 edition. So I just think, having those videos, it's not necessary and not every business does it, but I think it's just a nice way. I think there are, another tangent, I think it's way underappreciated or underutilized of companies building a community. Like you build tools for your customers happy, they pay you more, great. But especially for consumer products, like you want to build that community somehow. Like you want people to feel a part of Shopify, like they're proud to use Shopify and like want to meet other Shopify sellers and like trust Shopify to keep building for them. And like they know that Shopify has good intentions with what they're building and why. Because Toby was an e-commerce seller just like you, that's all they care about. They want you to build the next store they line up for. Like they really do care and they want you to know that. And that's why they have this video. So I just love how they're focused on like building that community. Again, this page, they want to have fun. They want you to understand how wacky they are and how different they are. So I love that. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get to the free trial because we're going to also talk about the actual product design. I've only been on the landing page, which should tell you something. I've spent 20 some minutes just on the landing page. Like that's a really good landing page. Like it is really interesting and it's really inspiring again, and like makes you want to start the free trial. And there's a lot of unique aspects to it. Again, like this wacky page, the 1 month for $1, so many features, like all these different demos and pictures and like even interactive tools that you can mess around with. So it's just an awesome landing page. I'm definitely going to study this in the future. I think everyone should study this landing page really well. Create something that gives off the impression you want, the vibe you want to create for your customers. Show them all your features. Show them in an interactive way. I think that's actually really something I hadn't seen much. Like you can kind of like actually click on stuff. Like I can click pay now and I see the thing, the transaction was complete. Like that's really neat. Like it's not just a demo. It's a demo that automatically goes, but you can also click on it and interact with it. So that's fascinating. I like that a lot. I haven't really seen that anywhere else. Anyway, too many tangents. Let's get into it. So start a free trial, 3 days free, then 1 month for $1. Okay, welcome to Shopify. What would you like to sell? Well, we'll do an online store. But that's interesting. They have brick and mortar stores, pop-up stores, add, just the checkout feature that Shopify has, because it is a really nice checkout page, just to add that to your website. Add it on social media, online marketplace. That's funny. Shopify kind of competes with Etsy or Amazon, but I guess you can use them to use that site. That's interesting. Whatever. Online store. I like this page, by the way. Like the colors are nice, and I like the this is kind of like, this is onboarding, you know, like they're trying to get to know you and why you're here. And it's subtle, but I like that there's this like stackable, like I'll go back. Like you see there's 3 pages. Like I only have to answer 3 questions. And whenever you're putting a user through onboarding, you know, some companies do progress bars, some will do, you know, these pages in a stacked order that you can see. But I think it's always nice to show your users how long onboarding will take, how many questions they have to answer, and not just leave them in the dark just clicking next on, you know, an unknown amount of pages. Because there might be 7 pages, but they might get through 6 and be like, what is going on? This is taking forever. I don't have the time for this right now, and leave, even though they're just about to end. And so some way of showing them visually that there's not that much, or there is kind of a lot, but explaining to them why there's that much. And then they know, and they're willing to go through it, and they know how long it'll take because, you know, 4 pages took a minute. There's 16 pages total. Okay, just only 3 more minutes and I'm done. Like, that's fine. So I like that there's this, again, just like stackable cards showing that this is pretty quick. Like, don't worry about these questions. There's only 3. Let's move. Let's get through this, move on, and we're good. So just a little aside there. I like that. So online store. Am I selling? No, I'm not selling yet. What do I plan to sell? Let's say I'm going to make my own products. Wow, okay. So this is interesting. Everything's $1 for a month, which is pretty cool because, like, you know, basic $39, advanced $399. Obviously, this is if you already like have a business and maybe want to add, you know, an online presence. Same for, you know, with small teams. Most people, I'm sure, again, most popular, obviously, is just solo entrepreneurs wanting to start a side business or something. Interesting, you can also skip and decide later. But we'll just hop into the basic. Add a credit card. Okay, so now we're in. So this page is kind of bland. You know, there's all these tabs on the side. It's kind of small font. I am on a big screen. Like, this is a rather large monitor, so everything is certainly stretched. If I do condense it to like a more normal looking size, like, yeah, okay. But this like setup guide is just like kind of small. I would probably make it a little bigger, maybe some flashier colors. I don't know. I'm sure they've played around with that, but it's just, there was a lot of excitement on the homepage, you know, like take the leap, get started, look at all these cool demos and features. And then you get to the product and it's just like, you know, this off-white and gray color scheme, small text, you know, okay, let's get started. Here you go. I think it just could be a little flashier, and a little more interesting, a little bigger, a little more exciting buttons or text. Maybe some pop-ups like, hey, you know, let's get started. Here's what you need to do. Maybe some arrows pointing you or like some animations. I don't know. It's just like, there's a lot of build-up, and I feel like this wasn't a huge, awesome delivery compared to the landing page. So something to think about there. It's hard because there's a lot, but I wonder if they can just make this a little interesting. So let's go through the onboarding, add a product. So this looks, I mean, better, a lot more interesting. So this is what I'm talking about. Something like this, like there's a picture, it's a little more interactive, making your list stand out, categorizing your products, like all this information here. Like, this looks awesome. I like this a lot. Even this little picture just like changes a lot. Like, it just makes it a little more interesting, a little more exciting, and then, you know, shows you where to go. This page is great. It has all the information. I just don't love the, you know, off-white and gray color scheme. I wonder if you can change that somehow. Like, if they have a default Shopify green and white, or a darker green and white, like the homepage kind of was. And then you can change your color scheme to your store, because your store colors might be blue or orange and white, or orange and blue, or something like that. And then you can kind of customize your Shopify page. I almost pointed, use my mouse, your Shopify page with that color scheme to like just make you feel like you're in your store. I wonder why they went with these colors and what the thinking was behind that, because like I said, it just feels like, you know, this huge build up to like, you know, start your store. It's so exciting. And then you get there and the first thing you see is just kind of like, okay, like, this is kind of regular. It's kind of bland. I think they could just add a little more pop to that. So something to think about. But, they obviously cover all the bases here. Description, media, looks like you can use AI to generate the text. That's nice. I don't know too much about e-commerce, but seems like they have everything you need. Again, there's a lot to go through. I think going through the setup task is probably a little easier. I don't really want to do it all, but let's go to the store part because that's obviously really important. So again, we're going to sell candles. So if I browse themes, I think this is nice. Like, part of me thought like it would be a little more interesting to have, this whole page, have like this section be, these top 3 themes and just kind of be able to like slide over, like see it real big. Like I think Squarespace show it like this, like the full website and like what it would look like kind of, and then you can just like click in the arrow tab over rather than just like, I don't know. Well, okay, so you can view the demo. This is kind of what I'm talking about. This is obviously too big, but this is really nice actually, this demo page. How easy was that to see? If you hover over, it comes up. Again, I'm just kind of thinking of ways to make it like a little more exciting. And so if it was taking up more space and it said like scroll to view more, and maybe instead of having to click view demo, like this is too big. But maybe if it was half this size, and then you click the arrows here and it shows, like this is kind of like, it would have to be designed different. It's hard to explain what I mean. I think you kind of get the impression just like a side arrow here, and maybe this is like half the length, and you can like partially see the next, like this from my mouse here over is like a preview of the next page, and then you can click over to view it. I just think that's just a little more interesting. Probably unnecessary. Again, you click on these pages and there's just not a lot of like pop to them. Like things are small, like the text is small, these previews are small. Obviously when you click view demo, this is awesome. Like this pop-up is incredible. Like it's not even just this main page. Like you can scroll down and you can see how you could put, these other candle designs in there. The pricing, the fonts are different. Catalog, no problem. Okay, that makes sense. There's only so much they're gonna do. But that's really cool. Again, you can check out another tab and it's just completely different, which is obviously smart. Same general like Shopify build. They definitely have like their template, but I like that they're showing different kind of themes. There seems to be free and paid. I'm not seeing any paid. Looks like that's at the theme store. Oh, you can connect your GitHub. That's interesting. So this is great. And they show a lot of different types of themes. It's nice that they're free. It makes it really easy. I just wish, again, there's just like a little more pop that could be on these pages. Now, let's see what happens if we were to try the theme. Looks like it's building. So this is the Dawn theme, I suppose. And then if we go to customize, now we're in the store. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. So obviously the idea is they want people that aren't super tech savvy to be able to build an e-commerce store, customize it to their liking. Because obviously web development is hard and takes time to learn. So it's nice that it's in this, section by section display. Now I can click this image banner and then boom, I can change the image easily by just like clicking. The opacity, I can make it more opaque or less opaque. That's easy. Banner height, not even having to make me customize it by the pixels. I can just small, medium, or large, or adapt, put on the left, put on the center. Like, so it's great. And this is, the value prop of Shopify. Everything is button. You can write the custom CSS if you want, but you can also just click these buttons to make it easy. You can also go through each little section on the side and change it if you want. Slideshow. This looks like, I'm assuming it's like a picture carousel. You can either use these side things or just click actual things. So this is important, how easy this is to use, because this is intimidating, and this is the highest friction part of being a Shopify creator, is actually building the store, because there's so many different ways you could go about it. You know, there's obviously so many customizations you can make. Building a website is typically hard and scary, but because they have these beautiful templates, it's so easy to start. I mean, obviously someone can just like keep this and just like put their products in and call it a day. It could be that easy. You won't stand out much, you know, so you should spend some more time on it, obviously, but they make it really easy for anyone to get started, which is great. Theme settings, change the logo, change the typography, the color schemes, add some animations if you want, hover effect. Apps. So they do have the App Store. Maybe that's explained a little more on the homepage, which I kind of want to go back to for a second. They do have this like setup guide, because I was going to say there's not that much like guidance. It does tell you like what you need to do. And it looks like, you know, there's 9 tasks, but they're like making sure I get these 3 done first. Let's just say I did them and see what happens next. Oh, so it's actually, they are all actually viewable. You just have to click these arrows. So Shopify payments, name your store. So they definitely, you know, this is their onboarding. It's very loose, which is a strategy. You know, some are very like, here's how you have to do it. First, you have to add your first product. Like, you can't leave this page until you add your first product, or you can't look at your online store until you do that. I like that it's actually like pretty loose onboarding, because, you know, you want to explore. Like, you know, you're pretty fired up after the landing page to explore all these features and just like click around and see all the things you can do. Like, organize your orders. I mean, mine looks terrible because I haven't done anything. So you definitely have to get started first. But I like that they kind of just let you go and explore, because it's pretty, you know, they have the setup guide, which is gone. I don't know where that went. I guess it's just back on the homepage. I liked it being on the side. I don't know why it's not always there. Oh, the sidekick. Oh, there's just someone that can help you. Well, that's nice. They should make that a little more, like, I have no idea what this little guy is. Maybe like put a need help next to it, because again, this could be really helpful. So, you know, there's obviously a lot of features. This is great. Like, this would be really fun to see. I mean, maybe I'm just an analytical person, but I always like looking at the analytics. And I like how they have this structured. I guess the only thing I'll say is, you know, there's not too much more to add here, because, you know, I'm in the product. I just think it could be a little more exciting. You know, the landing page was incredible, probably one of the best landing pages you'll ever see. And I just wish this screen kind of met that bar, because it's a little basic. There's just so much like white space, and there's no images. There's just like little small text. This is real small on the side. You know, obviously there's nothing there until you get set up. I just wish they thought about, you know, redesigning this a little bit. It's just a little bland. Now, I will say this is excellent. Like, the design a store page is excellent. It's so easy to use from a user experience standpoint. Like, you just click on the things you want to change, and there you go. Again, you just click buttons. Like, I like how simple it is. It's like, okay, do you want it middle left? Do you want it middle center? Do you want it top center? Like, it's just, you don't have to, that's it. Like, they do all the back end work for you to make it easy as just clicking around some buttons and then being happy. So this is excellent from a user experience standpoint. I don't think this is hard. Like, even if you're not tech savvy, I think you can do this pretty easily. There's, again, very little guidance, but I don't think there really needs to be, because you just kind of play around and figure it out. and go, page by page and get everything set up. So I think this is an excellent way to do this. But I think that just about covers it. There's, go to the App Store real quick. Let's go to the real App Store. So, and there might be an organic way to view apps that, I just didn't get through because I didn't, really go through making my store, like adding products or analytics. But it's just kind of like, it's not clear what the App Store is for, like why someone would use the App Store, how I use it, how I integrate the apps. Maybe there is some guidance somewhere. No, you don't really cover that. So I don't know how that organically comes up. View install marketing apps. It's just not really getting pushed, which is interesting. Like it might be worth, when someone first clicks this add apps button, having that like pop-up video saying like, hey, here's why you might want to use apps, and like, these cool feature demos and everything that they had on their homepage, showing someone using an app and like how it impacts their business, integrating the TikTok app to easily port your products over to a TikTok, and so on. Like, I just think they can show the power of apps a little better. Even again, just like an initial 30-second video right here when you click it for the first time, I think would just be a lot more interesting and give the user a better idea of why they would even use apps in the first place. Because I'm just thinking, I have the website. What else do I need? I just need to build the website and then I'm good. But this kind of tells you why you might want to use this Klaviyo app or this Shopify search and discovery app. I think that's a little bit of a missed opportunity. If they're really pushing apps, maybe they don't care if you use apps or not that much. I'm sure they do care because they have an app store, but I think just that like initial video would be nice. I don't think something like that is necessary everywhere. Could be overkill. Maybe they could just have a little, top right, play the video if you want in the corner that just shows someone adding products, how they do it, because there's really no guidance. And maybe it's at least worth making the guidance optional in terms of how to add products, because it's really just like, figure it out on your own, which is fine. And maybe that's all you need. But for someone that's never done e-commerce before, inventory might be a little confusing. Shipping, like I don't know the weight necessarily. What does variance mean? What's the search engine listing? Like you could just maybe have like a video, because again, there's a lot of white space. So you could just have a little top right pop-up if you want video that explains everything a little bit more if you have those questions. Or, there's this sidekick here. Just maybe making that a little prominent. But I think just that intro video, maybe not for every page, but for some of these pages would be pretty helpful. So I would consider that too. But anyway, I'm just rambling. So that all about does it for Shopify. I know we covered a lot. Again, just how great the landing page was, how beautiful so many little features were, little designs were, how there was some hilarious quirks like the winter 25 updates page, but also how there's opportunities for improvement. The landing page is so beautiful. I think they could give a little more attention to the actual product page. I'm sure you agree with me, just the discrepancy of the two could use a little more work, as well as some general guidance, of course. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe. I'm gonna post new ones every week covering various companies and their design, what they do well, what they can improve on. I really think going into just such intense detail, analyzing everything about the design of these, top mobile app or top web apps, really will help you learn as a UX designer, as a founder, as a builder, whatever it may be. So hope you enjoyed, hope you subscribe and stay tuned, and thanks for listening.